A good portion of my life has been listening to movie soundtracks. Hans Zimmer stuff. I've listened to Brian Eno a lot, Moby, lots of like electronic, ambient, and soundtracks. Like I was listening to like the Braveheart soundtrack on CD when I was like 16. I was that guy that knew early on that movie soundtracks that was it for me. That was something that really just kind of won me over. So I think a lot of my music is influenced by those sounds. So for example, when I created this track called Awakening, which I did on Sunday, I think it was a Saturday or Sunday. No, it was Saturday. That was done literally just by holding like kind of a deep, long chord. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. And then I came up with this melody with my right hand. And I really had no intentions of hitting record at that time, but then I thought, wow, this sounds really fucking good. Like kind of soaring through space, looking for new galaxies sort of thing. And very quickly I hit record before the magic was gone. And I think it's very easy to lose that magic if you sort of say, get up, walk away, get a can of coconut water, and and then come back and you try to remember what you did. And I've done that before, and I almost had like an aneurysm a couple times because I was like, God damn it, I fucking had something, and I didn't hit record, or I forgot what keys I pressed.
Right.
And because I'm not an experienced piano player and I don't know like what the chord names are, all of it's done by ear and finger placement and actual like eye sight memory. So if I don't remember like what keys I hit, I have to like figure it out again. Whereas like, a piano player is gonna be like, oh, just, C sharp this or whatever, or you're gonna do this chord, and then you're gonna play this melody up here with these keys. And I think that's what makes the process so unorthodox for me, is that I'm doing it just by sight and sound.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been. I'm glad that I'm doing something with it, because before I learned how to use the software, I was kind of just making all of these sounds and they weren't really going anywhere. And I thought, it's about time for me to start recording this stuff and at least just getting it out.
Yeah.
Whether it's perfect or not, I just want to get it out and just kind of feel like I'm actually making something and getting some of my creations out into the world. Just sort of this minimal way, because my SoundCloud is not blowing up by any means, but it does have enough plays there to kind of keep me motivated, just keep making music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they always say that perfect is the enemy of good. And, I think there's some truth to that. I know that, with my own creative ventures over the years, my own desire for perfection has gotten in the way far too many times. So it's good to just get it out there. And, with regards to recording, it's not a terrible idea to record everything that you do. Because you never know, like, even if you're not intending on putting it out for, SoundCloud purposes, maybe you're just noodling and then you hear something that you really like and you want to go back later and kind of work with it. When, I was in the band with Dave and the rest of the crew, we would record jam sessions. Sometimes we would just, put on a tape recorder and, just play for, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long we felt. And sometimes we had parts of songs come from that. Obviously it would be sloppy. It would need to be ironed out, but, somebody would have something that sounded really cool and we would kind of take that and build off of it,
Absolutely. I think that's the special thing about creating music, or really creating anything, is you just have to kind of keep going and keep doing it. Because sometimes when you're aiming for perfection, it can really squander your creation methods, and you'll start getting like disappointed, and then a lot of people just stop altogether. And it's really sad, because I think some people have enormous talent and they strive for perfection, or maybe they're not getting the response that they want, so they just end it. And it's a shame, because there's probably some pretty wild talent out there that's really sort of canned up because somebody heard something from somebody that they didn't like, or they thought that it wasn't going to go anywhere, so they just ended it. And it's disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
But it's tricky, because I think, there's that human instinct where you look for sort of external validation, but at the same time, it's important to just kind of keep creating and don't forget like why you started in the first place.
100%.